secrets of different bills. Hey, don't condemn me, you need it, I got it listed here. You wanna make it, I'll show you just how to make it here. I got all the rarest bills, and I ain't done yet. Went from the finish to making bills like a prospect. Flow space and slashes to catching us with a law threat. You keep the medals cause the right one's coming up next. Only scratch the surface, still they try to drag my name in dirt. They try to bring me down, see me winning, you ain't like me then.
Alright, so today we're going to be looking at an extremely rare build. This is going to be called a sharpshooting rim wrecker. And I got this build again from my Discord community. If you want to be a part of it, just link in the description, join up. Not only if you want to send me rare builds, but if you're looking for a crew to join, if you're looking to play with some teammates for rec, pro-am, park, you name it, we have channels for that. So link in the description, check it out. But again, shout out to every single nephew and niece that has given me these builds in Discord. The sharpshooting rim wrecker, you're looking at a 6'8", 186 pounds at a 6'8" wingspan. I'm not gonna lie to you, this build is absolutely cracked. Like, it is a really, really good build. And even after the update, this build just has so much potential. So what we want to talk about first is, obviously, you have the ability here with the driving dunk. We can get cap breakers. Obviously, that's the big thing about this build. The driving dunk, be able to get that gold posterizer, but you also have a 90 standing dunk, which will give you gold rise up. So this build is just basically an extreme dunker, all right? And then, of course, you have the ability here to get deep bomber. We're using 5 cap breakers here to get to the 90 3-point shot. And you also have a 92 mid-range. Why is this very important? Because we know with the nerf on fading threes, the mid-range fades are really big. So you have the ability, as you see, your mid-range shot is a 97. So you can get to 96. You'll be able to get your shifty shooter on Hall of Fame, and then you can use a max +1 to get that on legend. So you can have deep bomber along with legend shifty shooter. It's all about how you want to use your cap breakers here, but there's so much potential to the build that it just makes sense for anybody that's looking for a long-term, unpatchable, unbreakable build. This is the one, okay? Now, you're gonna be looking at pass accuracy, ball handle, and speed of ball and think the build can't dribble, and that's not the case. The cap breakers will allow you to get 80 speed with ball with an 86 ball handle. You heard that correctly. You'll get an 80 speed with ball with an 86 ball handle. So what does that mean? You'll be able to get the blur animation, even though it's not as OP as it was before, but it's still really good with keeping up with your dribbling as far as blowing by, and it also allows you to maintain your stamina longer than any other playmaking build. So keep that in mind. That's why you see like Steezo, he has blur take, right? And more people are starting to catch on of how good blur take is when it comes to just dribbling, right? But posterizer, deep bomber for most people is going to be the wave. And then defensively, you still have an 82. And yes, you can use cap breakers here to get this up if you wanted to get it to an 85 to get the on-ball minutes from bronze to silver. You have a 60 still just to get that interceptor. And then you have a 74 block, which will give you paint controller on bronze. And then, of course, the high flyer denier on bronze. You also at 6'8" have a high rebound, all right? So you have a 75 rebound, a 69 defensive, offensive rebound. And then when it comes to speed, agility, and strength, right on par. You have an 84 speed, an 80 agility, 73 strength, which is big because that is going to allow you to be able to get your strong handles on gold once you get your ball handle up. And then the 80 vert is important because if you're going to have that 93 driving dunk, you got to have that 80 vert to get that gold posterizer. So again, when you look at this build on the surface, you're like, the build can't dribble, can't do that. But watch when the cap breakers get involved, how toxic this can get. And again, if you want to take a look, like I said, on the takeover side, a lot of people, y'all should be using custom takeover, but deep bomber, as you see, that would be something that you can utilize. And people do ask me like, yo, what is the best setup if you're going to be using like a custom? All right, well, first you want to pick what takeover you're going to get, right? So if you're going to be going, let's say for instance, you're like, yo, posterizers, poster machine is really good now. You have a big green window. It basically replaces what Blur was doing. So what I would do is, you already know your driving dunk's gonna be crazy, so I wouldn't even put that as an option. What I would do is add that to my ball handle, 3-point shot, mid-range, right? So now my poster, when I go to the basket, I'm gonna have a crazy green window for dunks, but now my 3-point shot and my mid-range will probably be 99, and then my ball handle will go from an 86 to like a 90 something. So that's how I would do it. I don't really want to focus on, like, some people will get deep bomber and then have 3-point. And I'm just like, well, that's not me. I don't really care for that. So then another custom take I'll do, if I have deep bomber custom take, then I would go ahead and buff my driving dunk, right? Make sure my driving dunk's a part of that. I'll still have ball handle. And I might just do ahead and do mid-range and boost that up. But I know deep bomber is already gonna allow me to shoot from half court. So why am I adding more to my 3? I'm gonna hit it regardless. You see what I'm saying? So that's my thought process on that. But again, it's, it's each his own, how you wanna make it work. But look at the shades of Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter. Like, you're talking about, again, guys that could really, really dunk it and can really, really shoot it. And of course, you had the Iceman, George Gervin, as a little cherry on top for all my old heads like myself, okay? So, sharpshooting rim wrecker, really, really good. The only weaknesses you see is because of the dribbling, but as you're gonna see right here, this is where you get the massive boost. All right, so let's come over here and let's take a look at this as I fast forward. But again, like I said, very shocked by this build, man. Now check it out. 71 plus 6 plus 5 plus 4. Don't need to worry about the math. That's an 86. 86 ball handle. You only need to use 3 cap breakers here. And then 61 plus 8 plus 6 plus 5 is an 80. So you only need to use 6 cap breakers to get an 86 ball handle and 80 speed with ball. That's absolutely insane, okay? Then up here, you need to use 3 cap breakers here. So that's 9 cap breakers. You only use 9 cap breakers. Now you have a 94 driving dunk, 86 ball handle, 80 speed with ball. And then you can work your way to get to that 90, right? It's absolutely insane. Now, you can go many routes with this, but if you're telling me what is the first things you should do, get your ball handle and your speed with ball up, get that driving dunk up, or if you don't want to get your driving dunk up, get that 3-point shot up. It's about what type of ability you want to have. You want to get that deep bomber, go ahead and use your 5 cap breakers here. That's 11 cap breakers, which you should have already, and work your way there. Like, it is absolutely insane how you can go this direction. And you can specialize in either or. You can specialize in shooting, you can specialize in playmaking, you can specialize in driving dunk, but this build is absolutely insane, man. So shout out again to the Discord community for giving me not only a rare build, but a build that is really, really cracked. And as you add more attributes and get closer to that 20, you can upgrade your perimeter defense if you wanted to get that to an 85. There's just a lot that you can do with this build that will keep you on the game, where you can continuously build and develop it. Don't get it twisted. Look at the post control. The post control is crazy too. So if you want to be like, yo, I really want to be like T-Mac, you got to develop that post control. The Houston Rockets T-Mac had a good post game, right? So there is a lot about this build that is just absolutely insane and very fun. So let me know in the comment section what you think. Is this sharpshooting rim wrecker at 6'8"? Is this the new wave? Is this a god tier rare build? Or what would you change differently if you want to make any changes? But other than that, it's your favorite old head, Uncle Jimmy. I'll be back really, really soon on the banger, man. When I say back soon on the banger, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about tomorrow, man. Wow.